Boris Johnson has been forced to reboot old Brexit arguments, a political expert has told express.co.uk, as the embattled Tory leader faces down damning opinion polls and fresh questions over his leadership in light of the latest Partygate revelations. Boris Johnson is under renewed pressure after photos have surfaced appearing to show him drinking alcohol at an event that broke England's COVID-19 lockdown. ITV News published 4 images that it said show the Prime Minister raising a glass of fizz to colleagues at a boozy leaving party on November 13, 2020. The event, which is reported to have been for Downing Street's outgoing communications chief Lee Kane, was attended by at least 8 revelers at a time when indoor gatherings of people from different households were limited to 2. Reports of the incident have questioned why Mr. Johnson, who was slapped with a fixed penalty notice over his Downing Street birthday bash in June 2020, was not fined by the Metropolitan Police for this latest party under scrutiny. In other developments, Sue Gray is expected to release her full report on lockdown-busting parties held in Number 10 as soon as Wednesday. The civil servant claimed she was previously only able to release a limited version of the findings of her investigation, published in January, due to a parallel probe by the Met. As the scandal rumbles on, a damning 68% of Britons think Mr. Johnson is doing badly as Prime Minister, according to YouGov's latest monthly tracker of 1,623 to 3,326 British adults from May. Politico's most recent poll of polls, from Sunday, makes equally grim reading for the Tories, forecasting a 6-point lead for Labour over the Conservatives were a general election held now. Polling guru Mark Pack also puts Labour ahead in his aggregation of 9 of the country's top pollsters, all of which show the Tories as only the country's second most popular political party. The latest twist in the so-called Partygate scandal and the latest polling come after Mr. Johnson was dealt a huge blow in the Northern Ireland Assembly election earlier this month as the results messed up his plan to rewrite sections of the Northern Ireland Protocol, the controversial agreement governing Britain's post-Brexit trade with the territory. Dr. Nicholas Dickinson, a political expert from the University of Oxford, underlined the significance of Sinn Féin winning the election, with the Nationalist Party becoming the largest at Stormont for the first time, ahead of the Democratic Unionist Party, DUP, and the Cross Community Alliance Party. Sinn Féin's First Minister-designate Michelle O'Neill is opposed to the government's attempts to rewrite the protocol, but the DUP wants to change the protocol and has blocked a new power-sharing executive in Northern Ireland until the post-Brexit agreement is sorted. Speaking to express.co.uk, Dr. Dickinson said, "There is the first nationalist First Minister, but more significantly a pretty solid majority in the Assembly of parties which are either pro-reunification, Sinn Féin, plus Alliance, which is quite strongly pro-Remain." Alliance represents the same kind of liberal, educated young voters that we can see voting for Labour and the Lib Dems in the UK. This really messes up Lord Frost and Boris Johnson's plan for what they were going to do about the protocol. Because they needed to demonstrate this was unpopular, the way it was working now in Northern Ireland. and these results kind of say the opposite. So, a leg of that plan has just been kind of knocked away. The political expert also claimed that Mr. Johnson's strategy at the next general election, which could rely heavily on Brexit, may have been undermined by the surge in support for a Northern Irish party that wants to uphold the existing protocol. Speaking about the election results, Dr. Dickinson added, "Now, whether that is good for them or not, who knows? Because one theory about the way they are going to try and win the next election is by having a huge argument over this and essentially rebooting Brexit arguments from 2019. It doesn't necessarily stop them from doing that now. This is the situation in Northern Ireland. But it certainly weakens the case, and it makes the EU much less likely to make concessions. It is probably the most significant thing which actually happened in the elections, for British politics as well as just for the politics of Northern Ireland. The much maligned protocol imposes strict customs checks on goods such as chilled meat travelling from Britain to Northern Ireland post-Brexit. This arrangement is to satisfy the EU as Northern Ireland shares a land border with the Republic of Ireland, which, unlike its neighbour, remains in the 27-nation bloc. The protocol has effectively created a de facto trade border between Northern Ireland and Britain down the Irish Sea. This was decided as the best option in order for the protocol to uphold the 1998 peace deal, the Good Friday Agreement, and to avoid a hard border on the island of Ireland. But critics, including the DUP, have lambasted the situation because of the mountain of paperwork and extra costs that are imposed on businesses in Northern Ireland importing goods from Britain. The UK government has threatened to unilaterally rewrite sections of the protocol and has called on the EU to agree to renegotiate this part of Britain's Brexit withdrawal deal.